Jabari dead. Ramirez dead. Tasha basically a ghost. Monet running scared. The episode opens with Tariq checking his burner phone, hoping to hear from Tasha, and then shocked, fully awake by Yas, who's about to burn the whole dang on house down. And when I say house, I do mean house because Tariq did not stay on campus last night as to solidify his alibi after killing Jabari Reynolds. Season 2, episode 1 picks up right where season 1, episode 10 left off, the morning after Tariq and Kane kill Jabari Reynolds. And this episode, honestly, y'all, serves as a catch-up just so that we can drop into the story and know exactly where everybody is. So we know immediately where we are in time, where the morning after, but we don't necessarily know what's going on with all of the characters. So in this episode, we see Monet right after we see Tariq, who, as I mentioned, Tariq is at Big Mama's house because he is showing up his alibi. He is very, very intentional about making sure that he says, you don't remember that I slept here last night? I came here, you know, after everything that's going on. I wanted to be close to family, and Big Mama got something going on. Yes, lets him know that she has been drinking again, and she is completely incoherent for the most part and a little bit rude, which is also the setup for what we're going to see in reference to Yaz's storyline. They have yet to use this little girl in the entire Power series, but they're going to use her this season. One of the things that's going to happen is Tariq is going to have to fight to get her back. And in this episode, we get to see exactly how she was set up to be taken from Big Mama's custody, because look at her. Ma'am, what are you doing? It's a lot going on. And yes, you might have grief, you might have stress, but Tariq has killed and lost the same amount of people as you, if not more. Get it together. Come on, pull it together. After we see this, we see Monet, who hears glass breaks. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, when you first hear it, it sounds like somebody broke into their house, and it's like, well, who the hell's gonna break into the Tejada house? Like, are you high? But come to find out, it's only Drew fumbling around in the kitchen, and we learn immediately, one, where Monet's mind is, also where Drew's animosity level is, because he is home from the hospital in this sling trying to do the things that he has normally done, and he's feeling a way about the fact that he has been shot, and he feels like it's all Monet's fault. Now, when we're talking about Monet's feelings, sis seems like she's scared, and it's so interesting because we have yet to see Monet scared in this series. She is literally the big dog sitting at the top of the heap. But in this episode, we're reminded again and again and again that everybody has their day, and all the big dogs at some point probably will fall. In the same vein of catching up with everybody, we see Kane and Guap meeting with Mecca, who is going to wind up being the new Connect, but former GTG members roll up and try to, I think, initially rob them, which was very, very weird, because it's like, if you was going to try to kill them, why didn't you just get the blasting? Y'all doing all this talking, which left for opportunity for you to get your you-know-what bust, and ultimately your brains blown out, but you know, that's neither here nor there. And we get a call back to this because the driver for these two now dead former GTG members, who get snatched up by Mecca and presented to Kane as a way to really be able to gauge what type of man Kane is, so that Kane can actually finish him. And that's kind of like the start of their business relationship. But what confused me about this, and I think I'm going to make a separate video, is that why were they meeting up with Mecca to begin with if it wasn't already a conversation about the Connect? Because ultimately we get to see, after Kane takes care of old dude, beats his ass, yada yada, he's just like nosing around this hangar that they're in, and he stumbles across all of these bricks in this private plane. And then they have like a contentious moment, and Kane basically makes a plea of like, yo, I could distro this for you, I got this, like, I'm the most ruthless, loyal person that you ever know, you should be in business with me. And from there we get to see Mecca take a chance on him. But I'm just going back to like, well, why were y'all meeting to begin with? Were y'all initially talking about this? Because in this moment it feels like that's a very new thing, and that's his way of apologizing for not minding his own damn business and keeping it pushing. And then another question that comes up is, how did Guap actually know Mecca as this potential Connect? Because Guap, you were under the Tejadas. You were a clown. You still are a clown. You are a lame. How did you actually get connected to this bomb boss man so that you could even be able to introduce Kane to him? Those are the things that just don't add up to me. So y'all jump down in the comment section down below and let me know what you thought about it. Because if 2 plus 2 is 4 and 5 plus 5 is 10, what the hell is this? Catching up with everybody, like I said, Davis is working that new celebrity that's coming from him getting Tasha off and winning her case, and working with his new partner, Saxe. Tariq happens to reach out to him him while he's actually talking to Saxe before his television interview because Tariq is trying to find Tasha. He wants to talk to Tasha. Then we get like a little peek, just like the tiniest bits of peeks into what Davis and Saxe is going to actually be cooking up. Davis, for the most part, just seems like he wants to be able to bleed Tariq for money, so he's willing to do the things that he's asking for so that he can continue to get a check, even though Saxe, it's not necessarily clear in this episode where he is falling. Like, we know that he's not with the U.S. State's Attorney's Office anymore. He's now partnering with Davis in private practice, but we always know that Saxe is on some bullshit. We just haven't figured out where he's going to direct that attention to this season. And while we're catching up with people, right, we get to see Drew, we get to see Diana, we get to see Zeke, all of which who are some of the, and I want to say kids, but they are not kids, y'all. They are literally adults in college. They're in their 20s. They are older. They are doing the dang on thing, or 19, 20, and they're all under Monet's thumb. In this episode, Monet makes it clear to Zeke that he needs to go pro because he is going to be their exit strategy. Then she makes it clear to Drew and Diana that Drew is going to be his little road manager, run around with Zeke and keep him good as he is traveling throughout the NBA. Diana is going to be his publicist and keep all the hoes away, and Monet is going to be the manager, and the endorsement deals are going to roll in, and they won't even need to do all this drug business in the next 3 years because all of that's going to pop off. So she didn't already orchestrated how this thing is going to actually go, and didn't even stop to ask any of them what they felt about it, because Zeke is already thinking about this, and he's thinking this year he wants to sit the draft out. He want to actually recollect himself. He has just gotten off of academic probation. He is working on his game with a coach and decided that he actually just wants to stay in school for right now. Nope. Diana is doing what she has to do in her business, but when she wants to buy this fly ass dress that looks absolutely amazing on her while they are, luxury shopping, because this was actually cute. Like, I actually love the whole thing that they did about going to Fendi, Gucci, buying up all this stuff and then putting the bricks in the luxury bags for all of the items. This was actually brilliant. But aside from that, while they're actually shopping, Diana can't even pick the clothes that she want to wear without her zapping out. Diana can't even talk to Tariq and get comfortable or whatever they got going on, because I think this love triangle is going to be one of the things that I am so excited about in season 2. But we ain't going to go there just yet. She can't even talk to Tariq without Monet jumping in, acting a fool. Like, she can't make any decisions on her own. She's struggling with even loading bullets into the gun. So you can already tell that, like, she's doing what she needs to do or what she's told to do, but she's not doing the things that she actually wants to do. Drew, in this episode, we see him try to draw again after Monet goes and gets some more art supplies. She is feeling the tension between her and Drew because Drew definitely blames her, and he knows that he don't want to be Zeke's flunky. Like, he wants to be an artist. He wants to pursue love. He wants to do the things that he wants to do, and we have already seen in season 1 that this family, this business has gotten in the way of that. So both Diana and Drew have a conversation, and they decide they're going to start making some decisions for themselves and stop asking for permission. And that's definitely going to be a problem for Monet. And I have no idea where Zeke falls in this, because aside from Monet laying the law down and him not really actually fighting back, he also goes crawling back to Professor Miligram after he finds out about Jabari's death. He tries to console her, but then you also can see that he's still very much so into her. And it's very weird in reference to where they're at, because we know that Monet threatened Professor Miligram about their involvement, and she was supposed to be severing ties, which I'm going to speak about because of the detective that actually showed her Jabari's body was wrong for what he did. But it's not necessarily clear in this episode where these two are going, because at one point I thought they was actually moving towards a relationship, even though it's definitely inappropriate. It seemed that way until Monet popped up, and now we have this. So speaking of Jabari's death, Professor Miligram is the one who actually IDs the body, and the detective who's on the case actually has history with Professor Miligram. Surprise, surprise. Who don't sis have history with? And I ain't even trying to slut shame her. Sis, do your thing. Your bodies is your bodies. But goddamn, girl. Goddamn. Anyway, she's getting her hopes up in reference to going to go meet him because he called out of the blue, and she's talking to her therapist, or her therapist's answer machine, talking about, oh, we had chemistry once and this is going to be great. Girl, if Professor Miligram was anything, she is the girl that needs to be by herself for a while, because sis, you are just way too thirsty. You're just way too in need of male companionship, and I'm going to need you to sit with yourself for a while. I'm going to need you to sit and think about it, sis, because this is not actually working out for you. You're constantly getting hurt, and it's actually because of your own decisions for the most part. But I digress. The detective that's working the case is actually tricking her to identify the body, and also to get a little bit of an interrogation going, because he doesn't let her know that, yo, I'm taking you to the morgue to ID this person who you actually work with. Now, the only thing that's working for him is that he doesn't actually know their relationship. However, he does know Professor Miligram and what she's capable of. So whatever little skeletons is in their closet is definitely going to fall out this season, and I can't wait to see what's the tea on them, because sis got a nice little peppered history, but he was still dead wrong for springing this on her in this way. He should have definitely communicated this. Also in this episode, we get a quick catch up with Rashad Tate, who starts the episode out sleeping on his brother's couch, drinking his life away, feeling away because he lost the governor's race, to his brother telling him he need to get his together and get it together now, to him devising a plan to figure out how he's going to oust another person for their seat so that he can start to make his political climb again. And you know, y'all, we're going to see a very interesting story with Rashad Tate this season because they are setting up for Powerbook 5 Influence, which will be coming. They are definitely working on that, and that will be the series that's based all on politics and Rashad Tate's life. I think it's going to be Rashad Tate's rise and push to become president, and that is going to be interesting because that will definitely open up the Power universe even more. Green Light Gang is out here. Courtney Kemp, 50 Cent, y'all just amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. But back to the breakdown. Y'all, if y'all tuned out a little bit, make sure you look at the screen right now, because why did they put Method Man in those gray sweatpants and that puffy coat? When I say that man is so fine, come on, we gotta run the TikTok.
When I tell you this man is so fine, when I tell you this man is scrump-dilly-icious, he make me wanna, oh God.
Yo, I don't like Davis McClain, but we are never not gonna like Method Man. My God. All right, back to the breakdown. Before the episode ends, we also get to see moments with Tariq and Brayden who are actually good. We saw them struggle a lot last season with their friendship and their business partnership, but they seem to have recovered. In season 2, they're going to be stronger, better than ever, and truly building up their empire. Now, Brayden invites Tariq into a lot of his family functions, specifically this annual family hunt, as well as like some type of pre-hunt dinner event where there's a congressperson there and a bunch of other affluent, white, well-to-do people. And I love that they have Tariq just hold his own, because when this politician is speaking to him and talking down about drugs or illegal drugs, and he breaks it down based off of illegal drugs versus big pharma, and he's able to really just point out specific little nuance, basically just like microaggressions that this man has made in the conversation, even to like speaking to the fact that he's black and he must come from some underprivileged area. He's like, no, actually my father was James St. Patrick. He was running for lieutenant governor actually, so I don't know nothing about this hood that you speak of, which is absolutely true. It's like, not all of us come from the ghetto, not all of it, like, sir, but Tariq is able to really handle himself in this conversation, and I love to see it because this is also something that really starts to tie into where we're seeing his character growth and where we're seeing his maturity, and he's doing so very, very quickly. Now, another thing I want to note is throughout this episode, specifically when you think about the hunt scene, right? Because the hunt scene, it was interesting because I think that Tariq tried to take a shot at Tariq and hit him when they were shooting at this deer, which caused Tariq to go running through the dang on forest. When they get up on the deer and everybody's like apologizing, like, okay, Tariq, you can take the kill shot, he has the super flashback, and he has been having flashbacks to the killing of Jabari, but this is the more intense one, and this is the one that actually ties to the visual of him actually killing Ghost in the season finale of Power. And to me, I thought this was very, very interesting in how they were doing it, and I'm wondering what they're actually setting this up for, because the Tariq that we see now seems very dropped into the life that he has created for himself. However, when someone's having these visions and going back and recalling things in this way, that ultimately to me seems like they're starting to regret it. So I'm just wondering, are we about to see Tariq try to get out the game, try to make a change, or what? And also then it makes me question, like, why are you actually trying to reach out to Tasha so dang on soon? Like, what is actually happening? What do you actually want? And then ultimately he slips up by answering the phone at the end of the episode with the detective calling him the last person that Jabari actually called before he died. And my question is, Tariq, if this was the phone that you gave your mother the phone number to and connected her to, why in the hell did you call anybody else on it? Why, sir? You should know better than that. Now you can't dish the phone because you're worried about if Tasha's going to actually reach out, and then until you find her, you can't dish the phone, but the phone is going to link you to Jabari, and now people are going to be looking in your direction, and they don't think the Ramirez did it, even though that was supposed to be the plan, and Kane done told you. He told you in this episode that he ain't going down for this, so you might wind up in a body bag next to Jabari if you can't seem to get it together, sir. And we want that for you. Get it together. All right, y'all, that is my full breakdown of the season 2 premiere of Ghost. Power Book 2 goes to be specific. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What did you think about this premiere episode? I loved it. It was packed full of information and action, and we are jumping right back into the flow at Stansfield. Some things that are coming up I definitely cannot wait to see are the love triangle and what's going on with Tariq, Diana, Lauren, and Effie. That's going to be interesting because all these chicks still want him. How he's going to actually build on and continue to distro with Brayden. They're about to park this new shipment that they got at his family cabin in his trunk, and I'm like, okay, you already know what happened with that. Trig stole the last re-up, so are we still trusting Brayden to keep or to hide any of our weight? There's so many things that this episode opened us up to, and I would love to know your thoughts. What are your predictions in the comment section down below? Hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications so that you don't miss any of my Power Book 2 Ghost videos. I will be coming to you with a preview for next week's episodes, a little bit of predictions as well as some character breakdowns. So hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of those videos. And turn the bell notification on because YouTube be tripping. Alright, I'm jumping in the comments to respond to you right now. So meet me there or beat me there. See you in the next one. Bye!